So now we have a few more AMBC members, thank you, with a quick pitch, running a bit late. So if some of you want to run a bit slower, you're welcome to do that. And we'll start with Nick Whebell. Get it over and done with, Nick.
Okay, well, I'm Nick Whebell, and I'm from the Cleveland Bay Chemical Company, so I'll keep it pretty quick. I don't have any slides or anything, but we manufacture chemicals in Townsville, so we're actually doing that value add of taking local raw materials and manufacturing an intermediate or an end product that people can use. And we sort of do that with the philosophy of, finding local raw materials and value adding them. And traditionally, our business has made water treatment chemicals, and the market for us in North Queensland for water treatment chemicals is pretty small. It's dependent on population, and that had us looking for opportunities to diversify, and which ultimately led us to get into battery chemicals and seeing what else we could make with all the raw materials that we had in North Queensland. So that's another benefit for us being in Townsville, is there's actually a huge variety of raw materials near Townsville. It's not just one product or one mineral. There's a whole bunch that all come past our front door and go on the boat with nothing happening to them at all. And I think if you've been paying attention today, you can see that the biggest problem facing battery companies today is there simply isn't enough supply. It could be simply that there's not enough lithium, but also there's not enough supply of all of the little intermediates that then go into a battery to make it work and function. And so that's really what we've been working to develop, is looking for chemicals and intermediates that we can manufacture to support battery companies to then actually deliver a battery that works. And the other problem that we have in the space is technology is changing very quickly. So that also makes it very hard to then build a multi-million-dollar chemical plant or commercialize a product if the technology is just going to change by the time that you've finished building it. And so it can make it really challenging to get into a market where you've got large existing players. And so what we have really looked to do as a company is we look to partner with battery companies to commercialize material production of these inputs for them. So we're not actually making the battery, we're making the inputs. And we're pretty flexible and commercially objective in our approach. So sometimes we're just supplying the product. So we supply some inputs to people that make vanadium electrolytes. And in other instances, we've set up a joint venture. So we've actually set up a joint venture with ESI Asia Pacific, who are making iron flow batteries here in Queensland. And we'll be manufacturing the electrolyte that goes in their batteries and ultimately in the batteries that are installed for the long duration storage here in Australia and throughout the Asia Pacific. And I know I don't have slides, but there is also a poster presentation. If you go into the poster room, all the other companies in here have sort of got great posters as well, and it's worth checking out if you haven't been into that room. And I suppose the other concern battery companies have is just around IP. So because we don't manufacture a particular battery, we're not concerned about owning the IP, and that makes us a lot easier to work with for these companies, because some just want that input and then others want control over their supply chain or control over the technology, where they've spent a lot of money developing a new battery technology and they don't want to just hand that over without having some level of control over it. So I guess that's us. We're Cleveland Bay Chemical Company. We're in Townsville. If you've got more questions, I'm happy to talk to anyone. Thanks.